Right, hello there guys and welcome back to another Python tutorial. So in this Python tutorial, as you can see, we're working with a Raspberry Pi again, and we're going to be adding a third button to this. Not that those two buttons currently are hooked up to anything, but we're making that third button so that when we press it, it takes a reading. So only on the press it's going to take a reading of temperature and humidity. But anyway, let's get into it. So I've currently got this wire here, this white wire running down here, hooked up to GPIO port 19, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to place this button in here. So we've got a button in between the two, and we're going to go ahead and put our GPIO port just in here. So that's one of the four legs on that button. We're then going to go ahead and grab one of our resistors, and we're going to go into here to here. So that's in this corner's port, somewhere on that line, and then on the first line on the outside here. We're then going to go ahead and grab another one, another resistor. Ooh, if I can pick it up. I'm going to put that one into the outside line here, and one of the ports on the top bottom corner over here. So much like this, and we're going out so far by one. There we go, and in there, into there. Oh, I squished it down a bit. Oh, it can stay like that, never mind. But as you can see, we have our port 19 coming into this corner over here. We have our one on this one going to the outside over here, and our one on this corner here going to the inside over here. Alright, let's plug it into our Raspberry Pi bacon strip thing, and plug it into the dock. Plug it in there, make sure it's in securely, and we'll switch over to the computer now. Alright, so we have our last Python script here that we ran that read input, not an input, it read a temperature sensor reading every 1 or so seconds, and every time it could get a valid reading in that 1 second, using port 23, which we already hooked up in the last video. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to program in the fact that now we want that button to also be working. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and first define our switch port number, or our GPIO port number for the button. So we're going to go ahead and go switch A equals 19, and then under here we're going to go ahead and we're going to set up that GPIO. So GPIO setup switch A, which will pass in that port number. Why is it? There we go. And we want to go GPIO dot in, because we're taking an input, and that needs to be all capitalized. My bad. Alright. So now what we want to go ahead and do is we want to go down to where we've written down here. So we only want to take a reading when the button is pressed. So if GPIO dot input, actually I've done the brackets wrong there. The brackets need to be here. Switch A is not equal to 0, then we want to take a reading. And we also didn't put a space between that and that. Alright, so on that position we want to, while true, and this is going to loop through until we can find a valid response, in which case it'll break that while loop there. And other than removing this 1 second timer, we are pretty much done. So let's go ahead and run this. We may need to run it twice, which we do. And there we go, we've got our window. I'm going to go ahead and press that button now. You can see it takes a reading. Press it again, and it takes a reading after a couple of seconds. Press it again, takes a reading again. Press it again, takes another reading. So it only takes a reading on the button presses now. But yeah, that's pretty much it for how to wire up a button and set up the code, or change the code from last time, so that this time it only takes the input, or takes the reading on a button press. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Alright, hello there guys. You've obviously made it to the end of the video, so you've obviously enjoyed it or had to watch the whole thing at least. So if you could consider subscribing, that would be a great help to my channel. If you have any suggestions for future videos, make sure to drop them in the comments below. Like the video to show your support to me, so that I can know whether you like the content that I'm making. And yeah.